Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back to continue with my kind of series of videos that I'm going to be doing on the Profusion, the larger palettes that look like this. So the last video I did was on the Infatuation palette. That is probably my favorite out of the bunch, and then I'm going to go ahead and continue on with the other three palettes that I have. I do have the Sienna's palette, but I think that that one, because it's so popular, I think there are quite a few videos on YouTube already about that palette, and I don't want to, unless anybody wants to see one specifically, on the Sienna's palette, I would be happy to do one, but I feel like there's so much available for that palette that you don't necessarily need to see it from me, necessarily, if I could say that. So anyways, today I want to talk about the Wanderlust palette. So this is one of the more colorful palettes. I did get two of the more colorful palettes. This one, which is the Wanderlust, as well as the Temptress palette. And I am wearing this on my eyes today. I really wanted to do a fun look with like the greens or maybe the purples or the blue, but I did volunteer at my daughter's school this morning and I didn't want to get too crazy, so I did try to keep it neutral, which is also cool because it goes to show that even with a really colorful palette like this, you can get a really neutral eye look out of it still, which is, I think, very cool. I'm just so impressed with these palettes. I love them so much. I can't say enough good things about them. So anyways, let's just go ahead and get into it. This one, these are a little bit awkward to hold because they are quite big. Oh, kitty behind me. So this one, like the others, does have hi baby, does have a brush that it came with. So it does have kind of a more of a crease brush as well as a packer kind of brush. I don't know why I always try out the crease side, but then I never try out the packer side. I think because typically I like a smaller packing brush because I do have small lids. So I will typically use a really small kind of shader brush. And these, not that these are large, I will give this a try at some point. Again, this is a little bit different than the one in the Infatuation palette. The one in the Infatuation palette is a little bit less dense, more fluffy, more of like a really, more of a brush to really blow out that crease color or that transition color. This one is a little bit denser. It's got more of a pointed shape to it. So it's, this one's definitely good for getting kind of a darker color into your crease. You could use this for multiple things. So you could use it for the outer V. These are just really, really great brushes for coming in an inexpensive drugstore palette. I'm just so impressed with these. Okay, so this is what the inside of this guy looks like. Really, really beautiful array of pinks, purples, greens, some yellowy gold colors here, and then some neutrals. It's a nice, there's a nice mixture of mattes as well as shimmer, kind of foiled finishes, and I do not believe that there is a dud in this palette. I think the only dud, or the only palette that has any duds in it at all, I think is the Pro Pigment palette. We'll talk about that when I do the Pro Pigment video, but as far as the rest of these, I don't think that I came across a single shade in these that were a dud. I mean, they're so beautiful, and the pan size is quite large. They're, I would say, probably exactly the size of a quarter, and they're just, they're gorgeous. I mean, the quality of these shadows, and this is a $10 palette. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. But anyways, I really just wanted to go ahead and swatch these for you. Because in my video that I did with showing all of the palettes that I got from Profusion, I was not able to swatch everything. So I did want to go ahead and swatch everything for you. Now, I will say I did get a couple repeat shades, which, you know, for as many palettes as I got and for the number of eyeshadows that are in each one, I'm not mad that I got a couple. repeats. This green here I think is a repeat. This green isn't the strongest shade. It's one of those that's more of like a kind of a weird glittery topper. So maybe that would be considered the one dud in this palette, is this kind of flaky light green shade. But I bet if you used it wet, it would perform. I did get this purple, the purple shade that's kind of like a dupe for the MAC, sorry, not MAC, the Makeup Geek Blacklight. I got that shade a few times in across my different palettes. This shade here is one of those glittery toppers. If you saw my Too Faced Gingerbread palette video, that shade is very, very much like the dud shade in the Gingerbread palette, which is that, I forget what the name of it was, but it was like a really glittery, powdery topper. It was not a nice shade, but that is very much like that shade. But this is like, that's how you want it to be. That's how you wish the one in the Too Faced palette was, because it holds together. It's really, really beautiful, and it performs really, really well. So, okay, getting into some of the darker shades here. Oh, this blue is just gorgeous and vibrant, and these greens. I'm kind of obsessed with green eyeshadow, even though I have green eyes. So it maybe isn't the best shadow for me to use. I don't know if green on green is a good or bad thing, but I'm obsessed with green shadows. So anytime there are just really beautiful, strong green shadows in a palette, I'm so drawn to those colors. I love it. It's like a true emerald, this one. They're just so beautiful. I'm obsessed with these palettes. I'm just so excited to see what Profusion does in the future. I have been seeing this brand for a long time. I mean, years and years. I've been seeing them in like TJ Maxx, places like that. And it's just a brand that I was never really drawn to, because I don't know why. Not because of the price point, because I definitely love my drugstore products. But I think it was just, there wasn't anything about the brand that excited me. But now, I mean, oh gosh, everything about this brand excites me. Okay. Hope I can fit these all on my arm. I'm going to try. Gosh, some of these matte shades, this matte purple and this matte blue. This is a matte as well, this matte brown. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this. Oh, that blue. Oh my goodness. I could so see this in the crease and then that all over the lid with like a lighter transition shade. Be such a beautiful, like, dramatic look. Okay, and then I think I have just one more shade. Saving one of the best for last. Okay, make sure everything's dry so I'm not... Okay, and that is the last shade in the palette. And that is a matte. So this is the Profusion Wanderlust palette. Sorry, I forgot which one I was doing here. Profusion Wanderlust, and you can see just gorgeous, gorgeous swatches. And this is a case where they swatch beautifully and they perform beautifully. And I would say probably the only dud in this palette would be this shade, and I wouldn't even say it's a complete dud. It's just, it's one of those, it's got a really nice base color, and then it's just got a ton of like powdery glitter in it. So I would say just use a sticky base, and you may have to wet your brush with that one. But everything else is just gorgeous. Again, this is what I have on my eyes today. I went in with all three of these brown matte shades in different parts of the crease. And then I went in with this color here called Chill, which is just a really beautiful kind of warm, light yellowish cream shimmer. And then I went in with Tranquil in the brow bone. And then I went in with Illusion right here in the inner corner of my eye. And I got this really beautiful neutral eye look. I think it turned out really nice. These shadows just perform amazingly. And I did use a base from Essence. So the I Love Stage or I Love Color eyeshadow primer is what I used, which is such a beautiful eyeshadow primer, and it's from Essence, which is awesome. So it's like $3 and it's an amazing primer. But anyways, this is the eye look that I did get. I love it. I love this palette. I cannot say enough good things about it. Again, I hope that sorry, I can't get my thoughts together today. I hope that this video was helpful for you. I hope that it helped you make a decision if you were looking at this palette. I hope that the swatches helped for sure. I know swatches always help me in a major way just to see if it's a color story that I would even be interested in. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on the next palettes, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!